has done. Hallelujah. Let's all stand this morning and we'll get into the Word. How many has the Word in you?
Yes. Praise the Lord.
Amen. Hallelujah.
You have the Word in you?
Yes. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
That's right.
So if you're full of the Holy Ghost and fire, you got the Word in you. All right, but now, are you living the Word? Hallelujah. Got the Word in you, living the Word. Living Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. In Luke chapter 14. Luke chapter 14. We'll read just two verses here, 28 and 29. Luke chapter 14, 28 and 29. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it, lest after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him. Laying a foundation, but unable to finish. Let's just go to the Lord in prayer this morning before you're seated. Lord, I ask that you talk to our hearts today. Lord, that you'll quicken our hearts and our minds to receive your word. Hallelujah. Lord, that we'll take an account of eternity. Take an account of our soul. Hallelujah. 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 Put your Bibles down and just clap our hands to the Lord. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. You may be seated. Most places, I know Walmart just finished doing inventory, and they like to do that very often, and which is easier, I guess, to do it quarterly than try to do inventory once a year. The purpose of taking inventory is to see what stuff you have and the stuff you have not that you need to make sure you replenish unless the manufacturer has discontinued the product or the store no longer wishes to carry that product. In the day and the economy, most places are very cautious about their cost, about having just excess stock, excess material. But it's really sad if you would walk into your store and they did not keep enough supply, or there was constantly out of something that you needed. After a while, you do what most wise people would do, start looking for another store to shop. And yet, businesses count the cost of doing business. Our life today, how many of you stop to count the cost of living? When was the last time you got up thinking about eternity? Did anybody wake up this morning with eternity on your minds? I know Rusty Goodman penned a song a few years ago All I have lately on my mind is leaving. You know, and it's a song about exiting this world and entering to that everlasting life, that new home, living with Jesus forever. But I don't know how many people today actually get up in the morning to take inventory that this could be your last day. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. How well do you have it planned, or how well do you have it organized? We don't take into account the cost of eternity. Because most time we don't even consider eternity until what? We go to church and we hear a preacher, the evangelist begins to talk about eternity. Get your soul right with God. Because you flip on the channel, whether it's the TV, the radio, or the internet, and how many times do you see a sign, an ad that flashes in your face that says, "Eternity ahead, beware." Listen to the music that's being played on over the airwaves. How many of those are singing songs about, are you certain on your eternity? Most of them are about here and now, about having fun, living a good life. Oh, hallelujah. You know, people can talk about getting their rowdy friends together on a Monday night so they can watch a little football. But you know what? There's a good life living for the Lord. But there's some things, saints, that we need to be very consciously aware of. Yes, we may be walking the straight and narrow, but we have family members. Are we concerned about their eternity? This is what burdens me this morning. The last few days, I've had an opportunity to kind of be stretched out and doing some thinking. You see, over the past few months, knowing two individuals that went into the hospital just with a minor thing, only to discover there was greater things going on, only to end up dying. And this last person, talked to her many times at work, and she always kind of brushed things off. I did not even know that she was in the hospital until after she passed. And yet, today, where is she spending eternity? When was the last time you even thought about how long is eternity? Has anybody ever given a thought? I know there's a lot of illustrations on how long is eternity. But has anyone ever considered being someplace that you don't want to be, and it seems like it's been forever and it's only been 10 minutes? And yet, one illustration said that if a sparrow would take a grain of sand and fly from earth to heaven and back again, they would empty all the sands from the beaches. Eternity has just begun. If one could dip the Pacific, the Atlantic oceans, and the other bodies of water dry with a teaspoon, after doing this, eternity would just be beginning. When one compares the brief life on earth with eternity, one's heart would cry out, I must be saved. And yet we see that Jesus said that someone that's intending to build a tower, we can liken it to building a home, building a business. You don't sit down and say, yes, I have these great plans that I want to do, without taking the cost factor. You know, it may take $2,000. It may take $10,000 to put a foundation. But it may take more than that to finish the building. More than that to put the electrical wiring in. Whether you're going to have carpets or wood floors. And yet, he spent all of his money just putting a foundation. No other structure upon it. The sign out on the property, as people pass by, the future home of. And it's been there for years. They see the foundation, but they see a lot of weeds growing up. What's the problem here? What happened? He had big plans, but he ran out of money. Well, why did he run out of money? Because he failed to count the cost. Past the cemeteries, one of the places that I have frequented often. I like to go through very old cemeteries, look at the dates on those tombstones, to see how long a person lived or not lived, and then wonder what caused their death. And then to see some of the inscriptions that's been placed on those tombstones. One year when I was in California, I went to where my grandparents are buried, up on the levee. There's a cliff that overlooks the ocean, and there's a lot of tombstones up there. I passed several that had inscriptions on them that were so sad to read. One gentleman lived to be about 65 years old or so. But he lived his whole life for others, but no one was concerned about him. You know, and yet when you think about life, whether we live it for 6 months or 106 years, it's so soon it is over. But what about on the other side of life? There is an eternity that stands for each one of us today. And there's no escaping of eternity. And yet when I walk through these graveyards, it's like, how many of these went into eternity unprepared? They had given themselves up to others, but did they stop to prepare for themselves of eternity? You know, I've heard some people who say that Christians or believers, they really don't know whether they're saved or not. Now, I'm sure that I can almost bank on 99% in this place this morning would stand up and shout, I'm